implies negation of R. Second one, Q and negation of R. Negation of R implies P.
Hello. After you put
Who is that?
Hello.
Construct the. Who is that? Mute it. Construct the truth table for the following compound propositions. P and Q implies negation of R. Q and negation of R implies P. Negation of R implies P. Okay, now. So let us construct the table P, Q, R. Then I want, since R is, I here negation of R is there, so I will be calculating negation of R. Then in the first one, I have P and Q, so I will be calculating P and Q. So then we will be calculating P and Q implies negation of R. Next, R. Next, find out what is negation of R implies P. I will be calling this as A. So at last you have to do Q and A. Can so these possible combination of the truth values. So find out what is negation of R, P and Q. P and Q implies negation of R, then negation of R implies P. So that I will be denoting it as A. And then I will be doing Q and A. So you have 10 minutes of the time, complete it and tell me quickly. Anyways, 10 minutes is not required. I think 5 minutes is sufficient. So take your time and finish off quickly. If anybody wants help, you can ask me. If you're not able to understand anything, you can ask me. Can you complete the table? Guys?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Do it. So if you have any doubt in any part of the problem, you can ask me. But complete it quickly.
Ma'am, can you show that table once again, ma'am?
What table you want?
The one which you, yeah, ma'am.
So these are the possible combination values of PQR. So you can do by yourself. For the first P column, write 4 consecutive zeros first and 4 consecutive ones next. Next, in the Q, write 2 consecutive zeros and then 2 consecutive ones, repeat it. And for the R, alternate zeros and ones. So what is negation of R? Negation of R.
0.
1 0.
1 0 1 0. Now, P and Q implies negation of R. So when this condition will become false? What is the condition when this condition will become false?
If true, then false, ma'am.
Yes, if true, then false. That is the only condition. That is the only.
Yes, ma'am.
That is the only condition where your conditional will become false. Okay, 0 implies 1.
1, ma'am.
0 implies 0.
1. 1, ma'am.
0 implies 1. If
1, ma'am.
false,
1.
1. Okay. 0
One.
implies
1.
0.
1.
0 implies 1.
1.
1.
0 implies 0.
1.
1.
1 implies
1.
1.
1.
1.
1
1.
implies 0. If true, then false.
0.
0.
Okay. So if true, then false is the only condition where your conditional will become false. Okay. Next is negation of R implies P. So where is the negation of R? Here is the negation of R. Where is the P? Here is the P. So if true, then false.
False.
If false, then false.
True.
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 1.
True na, Shara?
Yeah,
Yeah,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
True, then false.
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 False, ma'am.
False, then false.
False.
True, ma'am.
True. True, ma'am.
True,
Na?
ma'am.
Then where here. True, then true.
True, ma'am. True,
True,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. If false, then true.
True, ma'am.
Okay.
True.
True, then true. Rest
True,
of the
ma'am.
values are true. Correct? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this I have considered it as A. Now make it Q and A. Can you do it and tell me the answer quickly?
False,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am. False. False,
False,
false.
All
False, false, false. 3 false and 1 true.
Yes, ma'am. 3 false,
No,
1
Three
ma'am.
false.
3 false, 1
and
1 true. And again
0
2
and
false
0,
and
0.
false and 2 true.
Yeah, let me check. 0 and 1, 0. 1 and 0, 0. 1 and 1, 1. Okay, fine.
0.
Then
0, 0, ma'am.
0,
0, ma'am.
0,
1,
1
ma'am.
and 1 and 1,
1. Yes,
1
ma'am.
and 1.
1,
Okay.
ma'am.
So this is your. Now, did you understand the concepts? When
Yes.
these
Yeah, ma'am.
conjunction, disjunction, all these things will become true and false. Say, if until and unless you revise what we have done in the previous class, it is very difficult to carry out in the DMS. It is not like maths, which you already know how to differentiate and integrate. So this is the new thing you are learning, and every day you have to revise. Otherwise, it is very difficult to follow. Understand? Now, the next one.
ma'am. True.
True. Write down this question. If a proposition Q has the all truth value assignments for the primitive propositions P, comma R and S, P, comma R and S, for which the truth value of the following compound proposition is 1. For which the truth value of the following compound proposition is 1. So this is the compound proposition you have to write. Q implies negation of P, R, and negation of S, and negation of S implies negation of R and Q. Write down the proposition. Go through the question carefully, what they have asked and what we have to do. Tell me that. So by seeing this question, what did you understand? If a proposition Q has the truth value 1, determine all truth value assignments for the primitive propositions P, R, and S for which the truth value of the following compound proposition is 1. So have you taken the question? Guys.
Ma'am, it blur, ma'am. Ma'am, it's blur, ma'am.
Now,
Ma'am, we can't see pro.
can you see now?
Yeah, ma'am.
Guys, write down the question now. If a proposition Q has the truth value 1, determine all truth value assignments for the primitive propositions P, comma, R and S for which the truth value of the following compound proposition is 1. Now write down the question quickly and tell me what did you understand from that. Over? Have you taken the problem? Guys, if you are not responding, I will cancel the class. Because I can't talk to the walls in front of me. Until and unless you interact with me, it is not understand from that. What did you understand from the question? What has been given?
Q has
Q is given, ma'am, and we have to find P, R, and S value. Truth value.
So, what is Q?
True.
True. Okay. So we have to find out the value of P, R, and S. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So after that, they have given one more value. What is that? Complete the question. So after P, R, and S, for which the truth value of the following compound proposition is 1, means what? Unless and until you analyze the problem, it is difficult. This is full of logic. What is the meaning of for which the truth value of the following compound proposition is 1? What is the meaning? They have given one compound proposition. So this is the compound proposition. So what is being given? What is the value of this entire compound proposition?
1, ma'am.
One, ma'am.
Means the truth value of this entire compound proposition is true. Understand?
Yeah, ma'am.
Means they have given 1. Okay. So how many parts are there in this?
2,
2,
ma'am.
ma'am.
2 parts. Okay. So let me consider the first part as this and second part as this. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let me consider the first part as U. So let us write. We can't write equals in this logical context. So always we will be using equivalent to. So in the DMS, if you write equals means it is of no value. Always the terms will be written as equivalent. Okay. So I will be taking U is equivalent to Q implies negation of P, R, R and negation of yes. Okay. And V will be equivalent to negation of yes implies negation of R and Q. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, by given data, what has been given? U and V is true. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. If U and V is true means this is the conjunction. Conjunction will be true when both the propositions are
True.
true. What is the meaning of this? This implies U is true and V is true. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Conjunction means and. In the and, whenever both the propositions are true, then only U and V will become true. If one is false, means definitely the and will become false. Understand? So U is true means what? So let me take this U. This implies that U is true. U is true means Q implies negation of P, R, R and negation of yes is true. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, it has been given that Q implies negation of P, R, R and negation of yes is true. But this is conditional. Conditional means, say, this implies that. Okay, Q is true. Correct? From the given data, I'm already having Q is true. See, conditional will become false only when the condition true implies false is there. So this is the only condition where the conditional will become false. Correct? Do you agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So obviously, since I am getting Q implies this term as true, the truth value of Q implies this term as true means this implies that this has to be true, because if suppose on a contradiction, if we take this part, second part as a false, then obviously true implies false will become false. But from the given thing, we got to know that Q
False.
implies, yeah, this is true. Therefore, obviously the second term has to be true.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, do you agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
So this implies negation of P, R, R and negation of yes must be true. Do you agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what does this implies? Again, this is the conjunction. Since this is the conjunction, negation of P, R, R and negation of yes is true. Means obviously this part should be true and this part should be true. Then only the entire value will become true. What do you say?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Do you agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
So this implies that negation of P, R, R is true and negation of yes is true. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Why only 2-3 voices are coming? How about the others? So is it okay? Did you understand that negation of P, R, R is true and negation of S is also true? So what does this imply? If negation of yes is true means what will be the value of yes?
False.
False, ma'am.
So obviously yes will be equals to false. Means yes is 0. So we got Q as 1 and yes is 0. Okay, next. We have negation of P, R, R is true. So is it possible to find the value from this sentence? I mean this proposition?
Ma'am, once
Can
again you
we-
explain that above solution, ma'am.
See, you people, whether you have revised the conjunction, bijection, disjunction, everything.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you know when these things will become, when the conjunction, disjunction, conditional, biconditional will become true and false?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am.
Yes. See here. It is been given. Compound proposition is true and second term should be true. First and second term should be true means U, and I have taken the first term as U and second term as V. So U should be true and V should be true. What is the meaning of U should be true? U is true means Q implies negation of P, R, R and negation of yes must be true. So this means that this entire term should be true. But from the given data, we have Q as true. Since Q is true, means obviously the second term should also be true. Otherwise, true implies false will become false. So, if by chance, if you are considering this as false, means true implies false will become false, and it will contradict our given data true. Therefore, you have to take the second statement as true only. What is the second statement? Negation of PRR. So again, this is considered this as the first term and this as the second term. Conjunction is there. So we got to know that negation of PRR and negation of yes is true. So that means first term and second term is true. So what is the meaning of first and second is true in the conjunction? Means first has to be true and second has to be true. So that is what I have written. So what is the first? Negation of PRR must be true and negation of yes must be true. So since negation of yes is true, means obviously yes will be
False, ma'am.
yes, yes will be false. Correct? Huh? Then now we came to this point. Negation of PRR is true. Okay. So we came to this point where we are not able to tell whether negation of PRR is what, because in the disjunction fails. Huh?
Negation of S is true and S is false, no ma'am. So negation of P is true, so P will be false, no ma'am.
No, how negation of P will be false? See, it has been given negation
of P is true, so P will be false, no ma'am.
No, where is the bracket you see, pa? Where is the bracket? Negation of PRR. This is a single term.
Okay.
And negation of yes is true. Means this will become true only when true and true will be there. So meaning that negation of S is true and negation of P disjunction R is true. So again, we got two parts. Negation of P disjunction R is true and negation of S is true. So here, negation of P R is true. So here we have two chances. This can be true, this can be false, this can be false, this can be true, and this can be true, and this can be true. But I can't keep on inspecting this. So I have arrived to this point. Okay. So let me take the next one. What is V? So from this, we got to know that U and V is also true. So let me consider V. What is our V? Our V is negation of yes implies negation of R and Q. Okay, now. So this is our V. And from the data, we got to know that this is true. Okay, now. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so from this, we got to know that negation of S is true. So I have true here. So since the first term is true, if true, then also must be true. Otherwise, this will never become true. Correct? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is true means this implies that negation of yes is true and negation of R and Q is true. Okay. Do you agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the conjunction again. So this implies negation of R and Q is true. So this is the conjunction. Conjunction, okay, by data. By data, Q is true. Already given. So negation of R and Q is true. And from the data, Q is true. Then obviously negation of R must be.
True, ma'am.
So this implies negation of R must be true. So if negation of R must be true means R is
Yes, ma'am.
False.
false. Okay, now. So you got the value of P, yes, R. Okay, R is false. Now, coming to this. So from this point, we got to know that R is false. Now, I am in this, at this point, a negation of P, R is true. So I will come back to this point. Okay, so from V, we have R is false. So if R is false, means what should be the value of negation of P in order to get this as true?
True.
True. So this implies negation of P is true. So if negation of P is true, means P must be
False.
False, ma'am.
False.
so you got S as false, P as false, R is false. Okay. So therefore, P is false, Q is true, R is false, and S is also false. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Complete this thing. Okay. So here you can find the explanation why why S is true and why negation of S is true and S is false, all these things. Go through this, you will understand.
Ma'am, what you did in the rough note is much understandable now. It just
Okay,
like a said.
I'll send the pic,
Yeah.
not a problem. Okay. So I'll send the pic.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
This I am doing only for your purpose, but in the examinations and in the internals, you have to follow the same thing what it is been given in the textbook. Okay. Or if you try to write in your own sentence also, not a problem. Got it?
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now, indicate, go to the next problem. Indicate how many rows are needed in the truth table. Anyways, this is not required. Okay, go through that problem. So if you're understanding, fine. Otherwise, if you don't understand, I will do in the next class. So let me go to the tautology and the contradiction. So let me tell you that tautology means if if the truth value of any compound proposition is true, then we call it as the tautology. If the truth value is false of any compound proposition, then we are going to call it as the false as the contradiction. Okay. So truth value is true means we call it as tautology, and if it is false means we call it as the contradiction. So you can go through the definition. So check the definition. A compound proposition which is true for all possible truth values of its components is called a tautology, and a compound proposition which is false for all possible truth values of its components is called as the contradiction or an absurdity. Okay. With that, okay. So for every possible truth value, if the compound proposition is having the truth value as true, then we are going to call it as tautology. Who's that? Mute it. And for every possible combination, if the compound proposition is false, then we are going to call it as the contradiction. Okay. Similarly, a compound proposition can be neither true, can be true or false. Okay. So in the previous problem, do you remember where you have constructed the tables? There it is the combination of both zeros and one. Okay. So it is neither full ones or neither full, it is full zeros. So it is combinations of both zeros and ones. Therefore, it is called as contingency. Understand? So usually we will be getting the combinations of zeros and ones for the compound proposition. So that time we are going to call it as contingency. Now, for an example, just a moment. For an example, if the compound proposition is having the complete values as 1 for every possible combination, then we are going to call it as tautology. If the value is 0 for every possible combination, then we are going to call it as the contradiction. So see this here, what has been given? P is given. So what are the possible combinations for P? It can be 0 and it can be 1. Means a simple proposition can be either true or false. So if true means negation of P will be 1. If if false means negation of P will be 1. If true means negation of P will be 0. So what is the disjunction of this? P or negation of P is 0 or 1 is 1. 1 or 0 is 1. So for every possible value P or negation of P, we got a true for every possible combination. Therefore, P or negation of P is tautology. Similarly, go for the conjunction. P and negation of P. What is P and negation of P?
0, ma'am.
So you are getting P and negation P. Just observe this column. So for every possible combination, your truth value is 0. Therefore, this is called as the contradiction. Understand? Similarly, we have to, I will take one table first, then you will understand properly. Take down the third problem. Show that for any propositions P and Q, the compound proposition P implies P or Q is a tautology and the compound proposition P and negation of P and Q is a contradiction. Have you taken the problem? Guys?
Yeah.
P or Q, then we have negation of P. So I want negation of P and then consider P and negation of Q. Later we will make it as P and negation of P and Q. Okay. It is a tautology or the contradiction. Okay. So what will be the possible values we will be having? 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So tell me, what is PRQ? What is PRQ?
0, ma'am.
0 or 0 is 0. 0 or 1?
1.
1.
1.
1 or 0?
1.
1.
1 or 1?
1.
1. Now, we have to consider P implies PRQ. Okay, so this is your PRQ and this is your P. 0 implies 0, means false implies false.
0.
True, ma'am.
Hey,
True, ma'am.
what is false implies false? True.
True.
What is
True. True.
0 implies 1?
True.
False implies true.
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 True implies true.
True.
True implies true.
True.
So did you get P implies P or Q as true for all the possible combinations of P and Q? Musawir Rahman. Okay. This is not the platform to send your emotions. If you don't want to stay in the class, you can get out from the classroom. But doing nuisance in my class is not allowed. If I find you doing all such things in this session, I will permanently remove you. I will make you not to attend DMS class.
Sorry,
If you
ma'am.
are check out here, P implies PRQ is true for all the possible combinations of P and Q. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So therefore, what do you call? P implies PRQ is a tautology.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is negation of P? So negation of P is 0, 0, 1, 1. Therefore, negation of P will be 1, 1, 0, 0. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So let us find out what is negation of P and Q. Negation of P and Q is 0 and 1, 0. Then 1 and 1, 1. 0
One.
and 0, 0. 0 and 1, 0.
Zero.
Okay, now consider negation of P and negation of PRQ. So negation of PRQ I have already found out. Let me check with P and this term. So let me call this as A. Okay, P and A. 0 and 0.
Zero.
0 and 1.
Zero.
1 and 0.
Zero.
1 and 0.
0.
Zero.
Okay, so what is the final value of this P and negation of P and Q?
Contradiction.
It is a false for every possible combination, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So shall we call this P and negation of P and Q as a contradiction?
Yes, ma'am.
So did you
No, ma'am.
understand that? Hey, see here, this is 0. Just observe this entire column. This entire column is false. So this entire column is false for all the possible combination of PQs. Okay. So whatever the possible combination is there, for every possible combination, the true answer is false. So see here, if the entire column is false, then we are going to call this particular compound proposition as contradiction. If the entire column is true for every possible combination, then we are going to call it as tautology. Did you understand now?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
How about the boy who had asked the question? Did you
Yes,
understand?
ma'am.
See,
Yeah, ma'am.
see here. Here in the previous problem, here we are having combinations of 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1 like this. So every value is neither 0 nor 1. If every value is 0, then obviously you can call Q and A is a contradiction. If every value of Q and A is 1, means we can call Q and A as a tautology. But this is a combination of zeros and 1. Therefore, we can neither call it as a tautology nor call it as a contradiction. Therefore, we will be calling this as the contingency. Did you understand the concept now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Similarly, coming for the next class, show that P, what is the symbol?
Exclusive.
Exclusive
Exclusive disjunction. So P exclusive disjunction, Q R, P if and only if Q is tautology.
Ma'am, it's blood, ma'am.
I will just send the picture, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
See, continuously I'm holding the mobile in the hand, no. My hands will pain and sometimes I will shake. So that's why it is getting blur. So construct the table and show these things. So tomorrow I may ask you to start up the video and show me the problem. What is the contingency? Contingency means neither contradiction nor tautology. It is
Not
combination of, yeah, both zeros and ones. So shall I send you the pic of this? Or are you writing?
No, ma'am. It's clear.
Ma'am, you send the pic, ma'am.
We are writing, ma'am.
Okay. Write down quickly. So shall I end the class here? Guys, can you hear me?